Hey, what it is, people? It's your boy Mush King, and welcome back to Behind the Brand, the show where we just like to talk about how we're growing the network and everything that we're doing behind the scenes. Because I always said that I wanted to start being a little bit more transparent about the things that I'm doing with this network and how I am going to try to take it to the top. So, first thing, where the hell I been? So let's get into this. So let's just say I've been trying to get my mental health together. One thing is when I think about the start of this network, now, mind you, I've started recording myself in 2013. I called Ali D and said, hey, let's start this podcast in 2014. We did the show for about 2 years. And then in 2016, I said, hey, I should start a network. Um, and then it just went from one show on the network to two to three to five, and then from there it was kind of like five, then three, then six, then two, then it's just been a lot of back and forth. And one of the main thing is like when I try to when I just think about the time that I spent with this network helping people out, taking time out to coach them and do things like that, taking time out to help them with marketing and creating promotional stuff for the shows and whatnot, it burnt me. Like, and I have to really sit here and be honest. I might have went through 22 hosts that I had. Now, when I say 22, that's just the people who might have started working with the network. The show might not have came out, but at least 22 people who I work with, um, to get them ready to air a show on the network. Now, all of them didn't work out for whatever reasons it is. I know in the beginning, a lot of times it was just me not knowing how to run a group, like run a group of different people. It took me a really long time to learn how to talk to people, to learn how to talk to different people, to learn how to, gauge emotions and all of that, because those are all the things that I was dealing with. And it took a lot out of me. It took a lot out of me, especially when, all those hosts, most of the time, most of the stuff that they were doing was just submitting audio, whether that's the recordings for the show, the drops and commercials, or the ads and things like that. Like that's all that they had to do. The rest went through me. And I spent a lot of time arguing with a lot of hosts to be like, hey, I need you to promote this better. Hey, I need you to promote this better. And one thing that I had a real life hit hard December and January. So I got to spend a lot of time sitting and thinking about how I really wanted to, revive the network, what I really wanted it to be. Like, is it still worth training these people for them to come on, do a couple episodes, and then be like, I don't want to do this anymore? Like, it was just real draining. So I've been working behind the scenes to kind of like really get things right. I wanted to start doing this again. And also, I just want to talk about, bringing back a story to tell and creating hustle. As you know, those are both my shows. Like Story to Tell, I've been doing since the beginning of the network, and Creating Hustle is something newer that I was doing for ESPN Radio, but I stopped being on ESPN Radio for issues that were due to me. But now I'm trying to get back into the swing of things and get back into the groove. But honestly, I've just been trying to get my mental health together, because listen, if your mental health is not together, you can't do nothing. Like, and a lot of times, like I'll be sitting there or laying there and be like, Mush, come on, you gotta record. You gotta record. You gotta get on this mic. And like the mic be sitting right here, like just like this. Mike sits right here, and I just don't have the energy to do it, or I don't have the want to do it because of all the trauma that has happened to me with the network. So, I think I'm finally getting to the stages where I'm like, okay, get your head in the game. It's time to really step up and do the things that you know how to do. Like, so, I know I was working on freshashshirts.com. Like, that's still up and it's still going. I will be releasing some shirts on there as well. And that has brought a lot of attention to the network and whatnot. And also it has helped me with growing a little bit on TikTok and things like that. But I want to start getting into doing TikTok lives, and well, that's if TikTok's still around. because we don't know what the future of TikTok going to be. So I don't know if I want to put all my eggs in one basket, but I just want, I'm just ready to know what the next one is. Like, and it's so crazy. Like, I talk about this all the time with my friend. It's really crazy, the life of these social platforms. Like when MySpace and Black Planet was out, like we thought that was like top tier. And then I remember when Facebook first came out, and you had to be in college. Like we was like so ecstatic, like whoa, this is crazy. And then like Vine came out, and that came and went, but it was only 6-second videos. And then Tumblr had an era where I was really trying to get into the Tumblr thing at the time when it was fizzling out. So there's been a lot of like social platforms that have come and gone. And so now that TikTok is on the line, like it's kind of interesting to see like where they're going to take it next and whatnot. So anyways, that's just something random on my head. But back to the network. So the past couple of weeks, I have just been sitting here planning on planning my things out. So I explained maybe in the last Behind the Brand that Jumpstart was one of my first shows that I had on the network, and I wanted to bring that back first. So I actually had a meeting last week with a potential host who will be coming on here as a guest host and doing about 3 to 6 episodes of Jumpstart. I feel like the guest host spots is what's going to help me elevate this thing a little bit faster. And the reason why I wanted to do guest hosts is because working with hosts for months, years at a time, like it could be draining. It could be draining. And, you know, I was running this network with the mindset that I was the one doing the show. So a lot of times when they would want to miss a week, I'd be like, you gotta submit a show. During the pandemic, when no one really had nothing to talk about, I was just pushing people like, come on, like we gotta do this, we gotta do this. And like I should have just been sitting my ass down and been like, okay, bro, like, come on. Like, so, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Like, I just need the support of the people. Like, I just need the support of the people because it's just like, I know that I'm talented. I know that I have the skill. Like, those are facts. Those are facts. But recently, like, getting older and just like reliving my life in my head and things like that. Like, I just think about all the opportunities that could have come if people would have just stuck around with the ideas that I had instead of looking at me like I was doing the most. And recently that's also been in my mind with this network. Like this network is 8 now. This is the 8th year I'm working on this. I've monetized it a little bit, but not really. But at the time when I started, there wasn't really monetization. But now to see that these platforms are now getting 6-figure, 7-figure deals from these podcasts, like I'm sitting here like, bruh, if all the people who were on the network would have stayed, just imagine the type of success we could have got. Like, and I know that I could do it myself because I know there's going to be somebody out there like, well, Mush, you could do it yourself and whatnot. And that's so true. That's so true. But like, I've never been a person who wanted to rocket this alone. Like, I always wanted my friends to do something with me. I was always that kid, like, come on, let's do this, let's do this. And then, when I don't see someone interested, I'll just be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna do it alone. And I would do it alone. And then people will be like, oh, how are you just gonna do it alone when you ask me? I mean, I didn't said it like 14 times. Like, I don't know how many times I need to say it, but so now with this network, I think the guest hosting spots will put me in a place to where I don't have to be like, okay, like what's going on? If you come on and you sign on for 3 episodes, for 3 episodes, you got to do this and do that. Like, it's just is what it is. If you sign up for 6 episodes, you know what it is. And if it works out, great. And maybe we could do it again. And if it doesn't, great. I won't have you back. Like, that's just how I'm trying to approach things this time. So let me know in the comments what you think about the guest hosting spot. And let me know like about Jumpstart. If you know anybody motivational, go ahead and send them my way so they could be a guest host on Jumpstart. It's a great way to grow your network and stuff like that. Like once I get the content back up on YouTube, start uploading constantly and stuff like that. Like once a story to tell comes back, I could post the whole shows and clips. Once Creating Hustle comes back, I could post the whole show and clips of those interviews and whatnot. So once I start getting that content back up, the numbers are going to start growing up quickly, real quick. This is a side note. It kind of has to do with the network, but kind of not. Like, if you know, then I've been trying to get a job as a producer, some type of social media director, something in that realm of me doing basically what I know how to do and what I've done for this network to help it get to where it's at now. Um, a lot of the times when it comes to like the network Instagram or like, some of my accounts, a lot of the accounts that I have associated with the network were started in like 2014, 2013. Like I started these Instagram accounts, and like sometimes I feel like they're being like shadow banned or they're not being shown in the algorithm because it's such old accounts. So what I did was I started like I wanted to create like a little meme page to see if I could grow it. And at first, I wasn't really taking it serious until about maybe 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna grow this account. Boom, 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 all that, all that. So I started taking it serious, posting 3, 5 times a day. And now all of a sudden, my highest video right now has 1.5 million views on it. And my reach is in the millions now. And also, I went from 236 followers to now I'm at 13,000. And that was in a matter of like 7 days. And so I've just been tracking it in my calendar, write it down because if you write it down, it's real. Um, but yeah, I just been doing that. So in a matter of like 2 weeks, I was able to grow an account to 12,000 when I've been at like 4,000 with the network for like years. And so it just makes me think like, should I start like a new account? Like, but then I think about all the memories I have from, all my old accounts and all the old stuff. I get to go back and see some of the stuff, like some of the stuff that I posted on the network Instagram. I don't even remember. And all the stuff was done by me. So it's a little crazy when I go back and listen. Like I went back and listened to some of the shows and whatnot. So we're just trying to take what we did, take what we have, and reinvent it into the current day and age. Because 8 years ago when I started the CWF network, big content in small pieces, content under 30 minutes. I remember everybody being like, oh my God, that is crazy. Why are you only doing 30-minute shows? Shows need to be an hour and whatnot. But like I found that my great space for doing shows was a half an hour. Like my mind for listening to other shows, like you might get a half an hour of me and then I'm like distracted and doing something else. So I thought that was a great thing. Also, starting a network back then was like kind of unheard of, but now there's networks. Now there's podcast labels. Now there is just a whole lot of stuff that I've been doing. So it's always good to see like what you were doing and now it's a trend. So I'm just going to keep that in my head and try to zhuzh up the network. Like after Jumpstart, we're gonna bring my TV and music review series back. So if you know anybody who likes to review movies, likes to review TV episodes, they're a little bit funny, got a little bit of personality, send them my way. Like help them grow their platform so they can, get other jobs while doing this. And all my black businesses out there, if you guys need promo, let me know. Like we could do some promo commercials on the network on some of these shows. Like I'm just trying to get it. I'm just trying to get it. And I've been sitting for months now and like researching and doing my research and watching other people do it and stuff like that. So I really just want to get in the game. So let me know what you think about that. And also, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking around with the network. If you're new, or maybe you found me today somehow, some way, welcome to the CWF network, big content in small pieces. I am the one and only Mush King. And I want to thank you for joining me on this thing called Behind the Brand, where I just come and just talk my shit for a little bit and tell you how I'm trying to build this network. Like, honestly, that's all I'm trying to do. So if you like that kind of thing, be sure to join us wherever you can. Like, be sure to subscribe right here on this YouTube. Click the notification bell button. So when you do that, if you're on your phone, make sure you subscribe to CWF Network on YouTube so you can see like the shorts and stuff. And TikTok, CWF Network, Instagram, CWFP, And yeah, let me know if you guys think I should start a new Instagram and maybe keep the original one as the backup. You know how they be doing that? Like, oh, follow the backup account for the full video. Um, yeah, maybe that's the idea. Yo, I'm telling you, ideas just be trinkling in my brain. But let me get out of here. Thank you for tuning in to Behind the Brand, and I will catch you next time.